Deep in Middle East shadows, ancient enemies stare down. Israel sees Iran's nuclear whispers and Hezbollah rockets as existential doom, but what sparked this powder keg waiting for one man's spark? 1979 revolution birthed Israel's nightmare. Iran swapped pro-West Shah for death to Israel's supreme leader. Nuclear program whispers became proxy wars through Hezbollah, Hamas arming. October 7th, Hamas attacked 5,000 rockets. 1,200 Israelis dead. Iran's $100 million annual proxy funding fueled massacre. Israel vowed dismantled terror axis route. Iran enriched uranium 60% purity. Nuclear breakout weeks away. Israel couldn't wait. IAEA reports survival demanded preemptive strike, but needed superpower shield. Enter Trump re-elected, promising America first strength. Netanyahu's masterstroke. $100 million plus pro-Israel donations. Evangelical-based Bible prophecy whispers. Trump's Jerusalem embassy. Golan Heights recognition cemented bond. Netanyahu played Iran nuclear threat card perfectly. Trump's ego couldn't resist strongman protector role. Inauguration week. Netanyahu delivered slam dunk intel. Iran weeks from bomb. Trump, fresh mandate. Couldn't appear weak. Maximum pressure to point zero launched sanctions crush. February 2026, U.S. deployed 3 carrier groups, 200 plus F-35s. Israel greenlit strikes. Trump's ironclad guarantee. Full U.S. air defense umbrella. March 1st dawn, Operation Epic Fury launched. Israel hit 12 nuclear sites, command centers. Iran retaliated 300 missiles. U.S. Patriot. Israeli Iron Dome intercepted 99%. Day 11 now. 40 Tehran dead. Iranian drones hit Haifa oil. Khamenei wounded. Sun Mojtaba leads. Hardliners vowing powerful missiles. Iran's asymmetric genius. Hezbollah unleashes hell north. How this choke global trade. Russia sells oil $150 barrel laughing. Trump loves it pulls up 15%. Strong leader image gold. But analysts whisper endless proxy war drains $10 billion. Weak. World War III trigger. 40% analysts say yes. Russia supplies Iran S for hundreds. China eyes Taiwan distraction. Europe freezes sans Iranian gas. Defense strategist view. Israel wins tech war, but Iran asymmetric attrition could drag years. U.S. fatigue key variable. Economic fallout. Oil $200 barrel triggers recession. Trump gambles war boost beats midterm losses. Iran internal fracture. Youth 70% anti-regime. Strikes weaken Khamenei. Heirs regime change. Whispers grow louder. Russia profits chaos cess for hundreds to Iran. Oil windfall $500 billion. Putin weakens West without fighting. AIPA sees $100 million plus donations weren't shared. Netanyahu bought Trump's ironclad promise. Campaign finance reports show Israel lobby owned key Middle East decisions. Questionable intel. IAEA never confirmed weeks away breakout. Analysts suspect Mossad exaggerated timelines. Trump swallowed bait. Authorized carrier deployment. February 15th, 3 U.S. carrier groups. 40 warships encircled Iran. Trump briefings showed imminent threat. Reality, Israel needed U.S. missile shield for strikes. March 1st, 3 a.m., Operation Epic Fury launched. 400 precision missiles obliterated Natanz, Fordo, Parchin 80% Iranian nuclear capacity vaporized instantly. Iran counterstrike failed spectacularly. U.S. Israeli defenses intercepted 99%. Only 3 impacts. Bahrain port, Kuwait barracks, empty Golan field. Iran's asymmetric genius activated. Hezbollah unleashes northern hell. How this strangled global trade. 20% oil tankers halted. Russia wins biggest oil $150 barrel equals $500 billion windfall. S-400 deliveries. Iran convoys roll Siberian snow while Europe freezes. Trump's war boost, polls plus 15% strong leader, but gas $6 gallon. Midterms loom. Voters feel wallet pain despite Patriot cheers. March 3rd, Israel invades South Lebanon aiming dismantle Hezbollah route. 200 tanks versus 100,000 rockets. Urban hell bench bile begins. Iran missile stocks 60% depleted, Khamenei wounded. Sun Mojtaba takes hardline. Powerful missiles threat masks dwindling strategic reserves. Iran proxies activate full spectrum. Iraq Shia hit U.S. bases. Syria fronts flare. How this Aramco drones regional war spreads. Internal fracture accelerates. 70% Iranian youth anti-regime. Strikes paralyze oil production. Khamenei dynasty cracks under war weight. Russia delivers S-400s. Iran first batteries operational March 8th. F-35 advantage erodes as Iranian skies harden against Israeli strikes. WW3 domino math. Russia eyes Ukraine ceasefire redirecting forces. China masses Taiwan Strait. Europe gas crisis 30% GDP hit projected. Trump's calculus $10 billion. Weak munitions burn rate unsustainable. Patriot missile stocks 40% depleted, production can't match expenditure. Netanyahu endgame regime change. Tehran. Mossad cultivates mech opposition. Cyber ops cripple Revolutionary Guard C-10 networks. China exploits distraction. 3 carrier groups South China Sea. Taiwan encirclement drills. Beijing calculates U.S. stretch thin Middle East. Europe winter hell. Gas storage critically low. Factories shutter. Berlin protests rage. Russia Gazprom profits rival Saudi Aramco annual. Iranian cyber warriors activate. U.S. grid attacks flicker East Coast. Israel water poisoned attempt foiled. Saudi Aramco scatter ransomware hits. North Korea solidarity test. Hwasong 19 ICBM lofted 1,000 kilometers warning. Pyongyang supplies Iran 50,000 artillery shells stockpiles. Venezuela ghost fleet 12 tankers attempt Hormuz blockade. U.S. destroyers fire warning shots. Maduro owes Iran $5 billion oil debt solidarity. U.S. munitions math nightmare. Patriot stocks 40% gone. JASSM cruise missiles critical. Raytheon. Lockheed 24/7's production lags war consumption. Regime change probability 35%. Mech Tabriz uprising gains. IRGC field commanders defect. US B-61-12 bunker busters target Khamenei palace complex. Turkey opportunistic. Bayraktar drones hit Syrian pro-Iran militias while F-16s patrol warning Israel. Erdogan demands Syria buffer zone concessions. India crippled. 40% oil imports Iranian. Refineries idle. Rupee crashes 30%. Modi emergency cabinet. New Delhi walks Beijing-Moscow tightrope. Abraham Accords shadow war. Saudi patriots intercept Houthi drones. F-15 escorts protect Aramco. Riyadh quietly coordinates Israeli strikes. UNSC paralyzed. China. Russia veto ceasefire. US walks out. Diplomacy dead war duration now measured in munitions stocks, not negotiations. 2026 midterms war weapon. Trump victory leader versus Harris endless war gas $6 crisis. 65% voters prioritize economy over foreign adventures. China tests resolve. J-20s patrol Taiwan Strait daily. U.S. 7th Fleet split 3 carriers Middle East. For Pacific stretched dangerously thin. NATO northern flank hot. F-35s intercept Russian Tu-95s daily. Europe gas riots cripple industry. Germany 25% GDP exposed energy crisis. IRGC Navy asymmetric hell. 200 speedboats swarm U.S. destroyers. Midget subs mine Hormuz. 30% global oil transit choke point strangled. Lebanon ground war grinds. Israeli Merkavas hit Kornet Helbeka Valley. Hezbollah tunnel ambushes inflict 1-to-3 kill ratio advantage attrition. Semiconductor crisis amplifies. TSMC Taiwan threat cascades. Intel fabs delayed. Global AI server production 40% capacity. Tech winter hits. Iranian cyber warriors peak. U.S. hospitals crippled ransomware. NYSE trading halt for hours. Israeli grid blackouts. Tel Aviv 30%. Russia escalates. Zircon hypersonic deliveries Iran. Mach 9 speed defeats Patriot 2's carrier groups now vulnerable first time. China Anaconda tightens. 12 carrier groups encircle Taiwan. Philippines ease militia blockade. Beijing waits U.S. munitions exhaustion. Europe refugee tsunami. 2 meters Syria exodus Turkey. Greece. Poland emergency fences. Far-right surges palsy, cohesion fractures. Pyongyang doubles down. 50,000 shells Iran delivery complete. Bulsi for drones copied IRGC production. Kim bets US fatigue. US home front fractures. Trucker convoys blockade DC. Ohio Rust Belt factories shutter permanent. 12% unemployment projection midterms. India-Pakistan reignites. Lok ceasefire collapses. BrahMos hit Rawalpindi. China supplies J-10C subcontinent nuclear threshold rises. Caribbean cartel joins. Venezuela 15 tankers attempt Hormuz blockade. US LCS warning shots fired. Maduro repays Iran $7 billion debt blood. Ankara opportunistic surge. F-16s down 3 Syrian Su-24s. Erdogan demands Golan buffer zone Israel. And ATO Turkey plays all sides. Global famine cascade. Ukraine grain ships blockaded. Lebanon 80% food imports war rationed. Africa 50 meters famine rescue and projection. Tehran tipping. Women storm Azadi Square. IRGC tank commanders hesitate fire orders. 2008 Green Movement to .0 gains regime killers. US nuclear option whispers. B2S Diego Garcia bunker busters loaded. 8-hour Tehran flight time Khamenei palace crosshairs. China forces hand. Liaoning live fire Taiwan Strait. US surges to carriers west. Pacific two-front reality hits Pentagon planning. Europe nationalist surge. AFD Germany 32%. RN France 41% polls. War fatigue, gas crisis, refugees fuel anti-NATO sentiment explosion. Global shipping Armageddon. Hormuz 25% oil transit halted. Insurance 500% premiums. Lloyd's London insolvency whispers grow louder. Damascus falls. Israeli airstrikes obliterate coups. Force HQ. Assad flees Moscow. Syrian front collapses. Iran axis loses second capital. US home front implodes. Truckers blockade I-95 DC. Amazon 60% delivery fail. Walmart bare shelves. War economy cracks domestic foundation. Pyongyang escalates. Solid fuel Hwasong 19 IRBM test. Hypersonic glide vehicle payload. Kim signals axis of resistance nuclear umbrella Iran. Turkey carves empire. Akinci drones obliterate Iranian Syria convoys. Erdogan demands post-war Syrian buffer zone. Idlib permanent Turkish zone. Cyber war escalates unbounded. Iran NYSE 6-hour shutdown. US retaliates Natanz Skata meltdown. 30% Iranian enrichment capacity cyber killed. Tehran gender quake. University hijab bonfires. IRGC daughters defect mothers. Morality police vanish streets 1979. Reversal accelerates. Strategic threshold crossed. B-52's nuclear capable. B-61-12's Guam. 14-hour non-stop Tehran range demonstrated Khamenei bunker feels heat. China reveals hand. DF-27 hypersonic carrier killers tested live. Mach 10 speed defeats Aegis U.S. naval supremacy. Pacific suddenly questionable. Northern flank ignites. 28-160s test NATO. F-35 scramble intercept. Marseille gas riots 50 dead. Europe fractures under energy war weight. Hormuz mine apocalypse. 5,000 naval mines laid. First tanker collision chain reaction. 40% global oil flow choke point strangled completely. Hezbollah tunnel hell. 500 kilometers Baikal labyrinths. Israeli trophy defeats 87% Kornet ATG Miz. Urban attrition 1-for-kill ratio favors Israel tech edge. US industrial base cracks. Patriot production triple shift fails demand. JASSM Ohio workers sleep factory floors. War consumption outpaces manufacturing. Tehran liberation. 3 million Azadi Square. IRGC 4th Armored Defects tank columns join protesters. Khamenei bunker isolation complete. Abraham Accords ironclad. Saudi F-15SA defeats Houthi Zircon copies. Ramco laser shields operational. Gulf Cooperation Council quietly coordinates. Coups for Damascus decapitated. Israeli rampage drones surgical strikes. Soleimani's successor eliminated. Iran loses Middle East forward headquarters. Strategic escalation threshold. B2S Missouri 30-hour Tehran missions operational. Khamenei underground complex primary target list confirmed. Space domain ignites. Chinese ASAT targets 12 GPS satellites. US X-37B orbital kill vehicles deploy. Navigation warfare begins. India joins coalition. Ends Vikrant carrier group escorts Hormuz oil. Tri-services protect 20% global supply. New Delhi abandons Iran neutrality. European realignment complete. AfD Germany coalition government. RN France confidence vote passes. War economy births nationalist Europe. Mossad masterstroke simulation. Micro-drone Khamenei prayer rug explosive. Iranian regime headless succession crisis triggers civil war probability 80%. Russia northern pivot. Pacific fleet sortie threatens Japan. Coral Islands remilitarization. Moscow to front pressure West exhaustion. Homefront martial law horizon. National Guard 12 states deploy gas riots. FEMA activates trucker protest camps. War abroad births control home. Turkey seizes moment. 100,000 troops carve Syria corridor. Iranian militias annihilated Bayraktar TB3 swarms. Erdogan post-war empire solidifies. Israeli Tehran lifeline. C-130s mech opposition Tabriz airdrop. F-35s penetrate S-400 gauntlet. Regime change logistics operational. Evan prison liberated. Women storm gates. 12,000 political prisoners freed. IRGC guards defect and mass A 1979 revolution eats children. U.S. Cyber Command unleashes. Central bank accounts zeroed. Oil Ministry offline permanent. IRGC nationwide sea to decapitated. Digital Pearl Harbor complete. Taiwan blockade rehearsal live. 20 to Chinese carriers full encirclement. U.S. response for carrier surge. Pacific two-front reality Pentagon nightmare. Europe industrial collapse. Germany 4-day workweek forced. France nuclear reactors 60% capacity. Italy scheduled blackouts. Continent grinds halt. Breaking. Khamenei confirmed dead prayer rug micro-drone strike Al Jazeera exclusive. Muitaba succession battle IRGC factions civil war erupts. Russian nuclear signaling. 3 Typhoon-class reload Balava ICB Miss Barents Sea. NATO SOSUS confirms mutually assured destruction posture escalates. DC occupation. 10,000 truck rigs ring capital. National Guard standoff. Trump declares emergency powers America fractures. War homefront. New Middle East-born fire. Sunni Israel bloc dominates. Shia crescent shattered. Turkey carves Neo-Ottoman sphere. 100-year order collapse. Pivot moment humanity. Tehran freedom fireworks or WW3 nuclear winter. Trump's were gamble. Netanyahu's dream. Iran's collapse world holds breath. Netanyahu trapped Trump Intel donations alliance. Israel crippled Iran nukes, but proxy hell endless. WW 363% probability hangs diplomacy or dominoes. History decides.